Gather round the table with dice in hand. Dave the Dungeon Master leads our band. Urizura swings her axe with might and glee. Leorah sings songs wild and free. Dave and friends in an epic quest. Rolling high, we bring out our best. Full of jokes and laughs, we fight with daggers and staffs. Never what you'd expect, it's Adventure Select. Sneaks through shadows with silent grace. Pietro's spells fly swift in the chase. Durin's drunken charm is a welcome delight. Dave's world comes alive every other Saturday night. Dave and friends in an epic quest. Rolling high, we bring out our best. Full of jokes and laughs, we fight with daggers and staffs. Never what you'd expect, it's Adventure Select. Unroll, the story's begun. Battles fought till the morning sun. Friendship forged in our shared dreams. Brought to you with our bi-weekly streams. Monsters lurking, treasure to find. Plot twists unravel in our minds. Victory sweet when we face the beast. Dave's the master of our mighty feast. Dave and friends in an epic quest. Rolling high, we bring out our best. Full of jokes and laughs, we fight with daggers and staffs. Never what you'd expect, it's Adventure Select. Never what you'd expect. Never what you'd expect. Never what you'd expect, it's Adventure Select. Adventure Select.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, characters of all shapes, sizes, denominations, and genders, welcome to Adventure Select! Yay! And then I will unmute everybody.
Hey.
There, now you're unmuted. It has been a hot minute since we played, but that's because of various reasons that are various reasons, and, you know, not worth going into. Same reason that streaming is, on its own, a difficult thing. But we are back for more sweet D&D adventures. So, I'm here with my friends, Tyler, and Third, and Malhavoc, and V.
Yep.
Elene is not here tonight. She is unfortunately unwell, so she should be back next time. But she has given me a letter that we will read out on stream in character in a bit. But how's everybody doing?
I was about to say, can you even do that voice?
Can I do Leorah's voice? Absolutely not.
Yes. so you're going to read it in character, but it's going to sound like, wow,
Dave the
Leorah,
DM reading it.
Well, the
Leorah,
letter
I-
is in
I-
character.
I, Leorah, had to return to my home planet to
My people
save the
needed me.
day with
because
song
my
and
people need
dance.
me.
Poochie died on the
My
way back to his
people
home
need
planet. How's everybody doing?
Oh, doing
Having a
okay.
week.
Having a week. That's always a good time.
Oy.
Oi.
Yeah,
that-
I agree with that one.
That's a mood.
How do you
If this were a
fit
tag, if this were a tag yourself, that's what I would tag.
how do you fit so many emotions and feelings into one syllable? It's very impressive.
It's a gift.
But as per usual, we will start off the evening with the D&D drink of the night. Malhavoc.
Yes, tonight it is a bourbon-based drink. It is the blood of our enemies. I actually found this is not from the book. I've got a D&D recipe book, but this is something I found online, and I was like, that actually sounds pretty good. I've got another one for next time, but that takes a little more prep. Tonight it is the blood of our enemies. It's a mix of bourbon, lemon juice, pomegranate juice, simple syrup, and spiced cherry bitters, along with 6 cherries that you muddle in there. So it is a very dark red drink. but it tastes pretty
Yeah?
good.
Was that
And
a
what the
dog?
hell was that noise? Was that your cat?
It was one of Third's dogs, I believe.
That-
There's my dog.
I just heard. I was like, no way that noise came from one of the character selectors because it was.
Listening to Mal talk about the blood of our enemies while the screams of the damned howl in the
Yeah,
background.
that's kind of what that was.
Where did you get
I
that
was
drink
like-
from over there? Fresh bodies.
I literally said the blood of our. I'm describing the recipe, and I'm like, okay, there's no need for an audio accompaniment with that. You know?
So-
Man, next time you need to make the screams of the damned.
So the question is, how does it taste? Is it too sweet? It sounds kind of sweet.
It's kind of sweet, but it's actually not nearly as. It's the juice makes it sweet, but I put more bourbon in than you're supposed to.
Well,
You don't use
lemon-
jar
well-
cherries either.
well,
You
no.
need to
Use
have
the good
fresh
ones.
cherries for it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the muddled cherries. They're all fresh cherries. The pomegranate juice is a little sweet, but the lemon.
I would always characterize pomegranate as being very tart.
Tart.
personally.
Yeah.
I hate tart. Ugh.
I love tart. Give me a good lemonade any day.
Eh.
Tart
But
is
yeah,
great.
like lemon,
So-
pomegranate, and
'cause
fresh cherry
the,
are all pretty tart flavors, so I'd assume that would
Yeah.
balance pretty well.
The
So
way it's like it's 2 ounces bourbon, one and
Yeah.
a half of freshly squeezed lemon juice.
Mm-hmm.
1 ounce
and a
of-
half. God damn.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. There's an
Yeah.
ounce of pomegranate juice, half an ounce of simple syrup, and then the spiced cherry bitters, like Woodford Reserve spiced
Yeah.
cherry bitters.
Yeah.
And then you
Not
muddle
sponsored
up.
by Woodford Reserve.
No,
I can't imagine why we would
So,
be.
yeah,
You know,
But call us.
Could be.
could be sponsored.
I mean, if they were willing,
We have very competitive rates.
You could send me a bottle of free bitters,
So-
Mhm.
Speaking of drinks,
Okay.
since the last time that we played, Eleni and I went to a local Ren fair, and the Ren fair was awesome. I actually
mead,
got
mead.
no, we didn't get mead. Hold on,
Oh,
I got this.
no mead.
Off he goes. Sword.
It's a wooden sword.
Let me. I have to pull up the stream.
And if you use your imagination, it could also be a gun.
It could also probably be a gun.
I really hope it's not a gun. Hold on, let me
No.
see it. Pull it up
Well,
again.
just like when you're a kid and you
Okay.
find a cool stick and you're like, wow, this is like a cool rifle or something.
So
Well, it's
this
like
is
when
what
you're
I
be
want.
walking
anything.
along
It
and
could
you
even be a
find
boat.
the stick of destiny,
But-
Right.
the perfect stick that's got a built-in hilt and everything else.
Yeah.
This is there's a guy that does this. I want to say it's called Hickory Works. Hickory Arms. That's what it is. Thank you. And he basically finds like lengths of hickory wood, and he carves them himself. He polishes them himself. He wrapped it himself, and then he sells them at Ren fairs. I have 2 others on my wall over here. I'll show you these 2 that I bought many years ago.
I mean,
But they're
it is made of hickory wood.
Yes. They're
So
full
that
contact.
Yeah, I was about to say it's hickory wood, so that definitely can serve as an anti-intruder device.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
These and I've got a great sword over there that I'm not going to grab because it's kind of in a bad place. But yeah, they're full contact. They're meant for like LARPing and stuff like that. They're really cool. And he does all of his own work, and he's been doing it for years. But that's not the reason I brought up the Ren fair. Everything just fell over. It's fine. Don't worry about it. The reason that I brought up the Ren fair is because while we were there, we stopped and we got lemonade at a stand that we were told was the best stand ever. Literally, all they do is they take some seltzer and put it in a Chinese soup takeaway cup, like a plastic cup, a bucket kind of thing. They throw in some ice. They throw in some sugar. They take a lemon, cut it in half, squeeze it, shove it in there, mix that shit all up and down, grab a straw and shove it through the lid, and then there's your drink. And it was the best fucking lemonade I've ever had.
Do you know why? Do you want to know why?
Why?
It's because they got the whole lemon in there,
Yeah.
and a lot of the
Yeah.
flavor of a lemon is in the peel.
It's in the peel.
Yeah.
It really is in the
So
peel.
when you get the peel in there, it gets all the lemon oils out of the peel, and it just makes the drink more lemony. This is why like a lot of the best high end lemonades have use a thing called oleosaccharum, where you take lemon peel and then you toss it with sugar, and the sugar is hygroscopic, so it pulls all the water and oil out of the peel, and you get like this syrup, which is like pure lemon flavor, and you use that to sweeten it.
Remember, everybody.
This is also why you don't knock lemon zest and lime zest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
If something
that's
tells you
some
to
good
put
shit
lemon
right there.
zest in something, put lemon zest in something. It makes a huge difference.
It will always make it better.
Might be a pain in the ass to zest it, but it's not that much of a pain in the ass.
No, you get like a little microplane grater. It takes you about
Yeah.
like 10 seconds to grate like half a lemon into something.
But
I will make a fucking key lime pie now.
Ooh, that's some good shit.
I made
but
it once and it's so good.
now that I am
Yep.
thirsty, I'm going to drink my coca leaf, which apparently I found out the other day. Coca-Cola
Mhm.
is still made with deactivated coca leaves.
Yeah.
It's part of the recipe.
No, that's
crazy.
That's literally why anytime some of these people are like, I'm going to steal the secret recipe for Coca-Cola. And like literally someone did that. They figured out the exact recipe for Coca-Cola. It was a former employee. They were pissed off at Coke and they went and tried to sell the recipe to Pepsi. And Pepsi was like, cool, I'm calling the feds.
Yeah, they were like, hey,
'Cause
if I wanted to make
literally-
Coke, I would make Coke, is what Pepsi
Well, plus
said.
it's a
Like-
copyrighted thing. Like
Mhm.
It's a copyrighted thing, so they can't use it anyway. And also,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola
You
is
could
the
mix it up.
only company. Yeah, Coca-Cola is the only non-pharmaceutical company in the U.S. that is allowed to import cocoa leaves in any way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it's like, cool, you sell this useless recipe to Pepsi. They're like, how
No
about
thanks.
instead we just call the police?
Yeah.
Anyway, drinks aside, let's get into tonight's episode of Adventure Select,
Why sure, Dave?
where I will
We're
do
doing
a
it.
quick recap of everything that's happened so far. And by everything, I
Boy,
mean
it's
the
been a
last
hot
session.
second.
Yes. So, last time, the group managed to. Third, your dog is very concerning.
Oh,
I was about to say the noises it makes.
Let me
is like,
restart. Let me restart.
She's just sad and she wants to go out, but it's
I know,
not
that
time
sounds-
yet.
It sounds
I don't
like my
know if-
cat. He's like, I want to go out.
I don't know if she's sad. She's just like, it's just the noises she makes. It's like, okay. It's like, are you doing something to it?
All right.
No,
ignoring her.
she's stuck in my room for now
All right.
Yep.
until the folks come home.
Let's try that
Yeah.
again. All right.
Yeah.
So last time, after completing their deliveries, the group got into a big badass brawl with a bunch of very tough customers while trying to make their last delivery of what turned out to be the magical crystal known as Varium, an extremely dangerous and restricted material in the city of Tyrus. The person that you were delivering it to gave you the lowdown on what you had actually managed to get yourselves involved in. Varium is illegal in the city, of course, but there are smuggling lanes going through, and you ended up being recruited to take part in this after the person in the line did not show up. You did get paid for your efforts, but it was recommended that you look into the reason that person was missing, because otherwise you might be in some danger of not knowing what's coming. So, you took your investigations back to where you could, or where you knew the best, starting with the captain of the Jade Dragon, Captain Durin, and also the harbor master at the docks. The harbor master gave you some information. The person that you were looking for is Harney, and Harney hadn't been at work for at least a day, and in fact has been. It was kind of unusual. She pointed you towards a friend of his, another dock worker, who told you that Harney also likes to take part in fight rings, which is, you know, kind of a cool thing. But he didn't have any injuries or unusual problems after his last fight a couple of days ago, and it made no sense that he hadn't shown up for work. Curiouser and curiouser, you decided to go and talk to Captain Durin of the Jade Dragon, and he told you that he had been working with Harney for quite some time, and that he had never had any problems with him before. While you were talking to him, apparently, the appeal of the hat was just too much. And Leorah and Saoirse decided, in broad daylight, mind you, because this is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, to jump onto the boat, steal into the captain's quarters, and take his hat.
But mostly Saoirse.
Mostly Saoirse. Leorah kind of went along for the ride, but she certainly didn't object. You interrupted his, shall we say, paramour, who, after some reassurances, went back to sleep to wait for the captain. Grabbed the extremely fanciful hat, and made your way back to the docks just as the rest of the team was finishing up their discussion. Durin didn't have any.
It's not a parakeet.
Durin didn't have any new information for you, other than the fact that Harney has been generally reliable. And fortunately, he didn't notice his hat in his rush to get back to his cabin to finish things up. And that's where our adventurers have been left, standing on the docks, still looking for Harney, not entirely sure what you may have stumbled into. But apprehensive all the same. And with a new hat. That's always sweet.
Yeah.
I hate that plays right after.
Sweet hat.
The magic hat that you were going to say why it's magic, but
you have to
Elene
identify
is
it
here to
first.
describe the magic.
You have to identify it first.
Do you think Leorah is even going to wait that long?
No. No, I don't.
No,
But
she's gonna put that thing right. She probably had it on like as she was leaving.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
But
So-
she has to wait now.
Yeah.
So, let's begin. Captain Durin has just gone back up the gangplank and disappeared back into his cabin. Hugo, the large, beefy man that just can't seem to win an arm wrestling fight, is back at his position, arms crossed, looking all big and beefy. And
As you do.
This one does.
fortunately, Saoirse and Leorah are not visible. However, Saoirse, I need you to give me a perception check.
Sure.
What the hell is the D&D
That
stuff?
shit.
The what?
I'm just talking about trying to find my D&D tabs.
15.
Okay.
That's gonna be an ongoing thing, isn't it?
until third parents get home.
The sad little.
Yeah, basically. As you turn around and see the rest of the group turning towards you, you hear the quick of feet, pitter-patter of feet. And you turn around and Leorah is gone. She just took off.
Rats off to you.
She's got the hat in her head. She's like, woo! And she's gone. And you're just like, all right. Okay. Do you do anything?
She's gonna go live it up on. She's gonna go live it up on the town to celebrate getting her hat.
Yep.
All right. So, what would you like to do? You're now all back together. Hugo isn't looking in your direction, so.
And Leorah has absconded with the hat.
It is about 1:30 in the afternoon at this point. It's still a little misty. Still a little bit of rain. Not like hard rain, but just like a little bit.
Catch up with the party. Did y'all see where Leorah went?
Did we
Oh,
even
did
see
I?
her scurry off, or
No, Saoirse saw her scurry off. Nobody else did.
I'll shrug.
It's me.
Little gremlin just absconded.
yeah, little grim.
Yeah, that tracks.
Oh, yeah, so it's like, yep, that makes sense. Fucking hell. All right,
Good
so
help, so hard
Leorah
to
has.
find these days.
So, I'm trying to. In character, Durin would want to go see why Leorah took off, but out of character since I know Elene will not be joining us for this. By the way, were you going to read the note or?
You haven't gotten it yet.
Well, you also
okay.
don't know where she went because you don't see her. You didn't see her.
As
so
far
how
as you know,
how
she's
you
just
find her?
gone. You're like,
Yeah.
Saoirse just standing there, and it's just like, oh.
It's like when Saoirse disappears. Like we don't know where she went.
Yeah, but Saoirse tends to linger in the shadows.
Yeah, she
Like
hides up
ceiling
in the
cat.
rafters.
Ceiling cat is
Sit-
watching you.
It's fine when I do it.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as
I
I
don't know,
do.
when
It's like Batman, you know. Batman doesn't want people to disappear on him.
Yeah.
But Batman's
I mean,
perfectly
to be
fine
fair-
disappearing on everyone else.
It's like
when the very
that's what that feels like.
that's kind of a dick move. I guess just kind of look around, see where Leorah is scurried off to, and if we can't find her, I assume we will then move on to
Go find this.
the
what's
Fight
his
Club
face?
thing, because I know.
Well, there's two things there are two leads that you have right now. You know about the fighting ring, and you know where
Mhm.
Harney's apartment is.
Right. Oh, we don't have the map up. Hold on.
No.
Probably
Scroll
hit up his
all-
place of living first.
Well, because the Fight Club isn't till tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and you had said that his where he lived was about halfway between 10 and 3 on the
Yes.
map, the
Yep.
slums and the
It's not
Merchant Plaza.
it's not in the slums. It's kind of towards the edge of the slums.
Okay. Well, since we know where it is, presumably, I say since we can't go into the Fight Club until this evening, we'll make our way that way. Well, unless we have the option of trying to track down Leorah.
I mean,
I think we should just. I think just out of character, we should just leave that be.
Yeah, exactly. Out of character, we should, but
your
it's
concern
like,
about
you know,
Leorah
we're
has
not-
been
we're not-
noted. You spend about
It's like we're not her keepers, and we're not super busy at the moment. She'll find us if need be.
I would say you spend about 5 to 10 minutes kind of looking around for her, but she's like gone. But you don't see any
she's
commotion.
also short.
Yeah, you don't see any commotion.
Yeah.
So you don't have any reason to suspect that anything is wrong.
Maybe
So-
I should
All
consider
right.
investing in a harness, like one of those little kid harnesses with the leashes.
Oh God.
I wore one
I
of
can
those as
also
a kid.
see you I can also see you investing in one to be like, okay, we need. Urizura keeps charging in, and then you have a brief moment of, oh no, before you are dragged right along.
I have tied myself to the rock as it's thrown from the catapult. Uh-oh.
Oh.
This seemed like a good idea in my head at the time, but
At the time.
I've since realized the error
No,
of
no,
my
no.
ways.
I don't need to get a harness for Urizura. I need a saddle.
Look,
Piggyback saddle.
PG-13, all right?
Just
As though
one.
you think she
I
would
need
tolerate you riding her.
one of those Yoda backpacks that I just ride in the back.
No, that's for Leorah.
Yeah, no, you get the carry on the front.
I get the papoose.
Yeah, the baby
Yeah, you get-
papoose.
All right. So are
Well,
you
you
heading
know, like
towards the
those,
apartment or
You know, like those little harnesses you can
yeah.
put on a dog to like carry them like a briefcase.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that is going to be Pietro.
You know-
He's in the briefcase.
I think I'm
Dog
too
is
big for that. That's probably more of a Durin thing, you know. Urizura just carries Durin around like one of those doggy briefcases.
I mean,
dog is not the
honestly-
subject matter I associate that with.
all right?
Durin's
So
being carried like a briefcase. It would be
Anyway.
more like I'm gonna throw this dwarf at them.
all right.
Just speedball special. Like,
All right, so you make your way down down one of the main streets, and it's not terribly far to get to Harney's apartment. It's maybe like a 30-45 minute walk. The streets are still pretty busy. When you get there, you find a building that's about 3 stories high. The bottom is a shop, and then it's clear that from the outside that the next 2 floors are like rooms or houses. The shop itself is like a general goods store. It sells like lanterns, candles, dry goods, things like that. And then off to the right, there's a door leading that's open and has a set of stairs going up.
Okay. All right. What details did we have that we got from the other dock worker about? Like, did we know his exact apartment number and stuff, or?
Yeah, you know that he lives on the second floor.
All right.
Okay.
I think we should go check out the apartment first, and if we have any follow-up questions, we ask the shopkeeper.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I
So-
think snooping
Alright.
around is boring, so Urizura is going to hang out in the shop.
Fair enough. So the rest of you head up the stairs, and you get to a landing, and there's a door to your left. The door just has a simple 1 painted on it. It's not like a plaque or anything. It's just a 1. And it is currently closed.
I knock.
Is that his exact room, or?
There is a door with a 1 painted on it, and it is currently closed.
That's all you know. Okay.
I guess the other question is there any other doors up there?
No, there's another set of stairs leading up to the next story.
But you said second floor. Now, is this British second floor or American second floor?
You're not there. You're shopping. No, it's
I know, but I'm just asking the question.
it's American
that need
second
to be
floor.
asked.
American proper second floor.
Yeah.
But what
So
about the mezzanine?
so you, Pietro, walk up to the door and you just give it a loud. I don't know if you heard that.
Yep.
Okay.
I did.
Yep.
And nothing happens.
I tried the
Well, if-
doorknob or handle or whatever it is.
The door is locked.
Well.
Huh. Let me think here. Let me think.
Durin's just going to kind of glance over at Saoirse while Pietro's sitting there rubbing his chin in deep thought.
You waggle your eyebrows at her.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, I'm just gonna like kind of motion my head towards the doorknob.
Pietro seems to have it.
Pietro absolutely doesn't have it because I was just looking through my backpack for a crowbar and I don't have one.
I need that to be in character. Pietro absolutely doesn't have it. I don't have my crowbar. The fact that you have a crowbar.
Okay, so here's the scene. Durin looks at Saoirse and just goes, yeah, eh. Saoirse says,
I think Pietro's got it.
Pietro says,
I absolutely do not. I left my crowbar somewhere. It's not in here.
thank you.
I'd be more concerned that
no,
you
I
as
don't-
a noble are carrying
I'd rather
around
it
a
have-
crowbar.
I'd rather it have been something more like Saoirse was like, I think Pietro has it, and then cut to Pietro and he's like, I don't have it. Where's my crowbar?
Like just thinking to himself, it's like,
Right.
yeah, my
Like, shit,
crowbar.
where's my crowbar?
I don't have it.
I must have left it at that last party I crashed. It's a universal key. I mean, I can get anywhere with that thing.
You use the crowbar
That's
to
your
literally
multi-pass.
crash.
That's the new weapon in Kingdom Hearts 4. The new key.
The new keyblade.
The
a
key
crowbar.
bar.
It's just a fucking crowbar with like the
I mean, it's-
lambda symbol on it from halfway.
It's set in like a very modern looking city.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what would you like to do?
All right, move out the way, you big galumps.
I do with a little bow.
All right, so I'm assuming you're picking the lock.
Yeah, I'll, get a click out of 1, get a click out of 2.
Click out of
Picking
2.
lawyer, yeah.
Little binding on 3. Click out of 4.
That's right. D&D Beyond doesn't have. Let me just click the.
You can add one though.
You can add it, yeah.
Yeah, if you click additional skills or whatever, or
I'll do
custom
that in
skills,
a
you can
bit.
add
But
you can add
I'll-
a lock picking or whatever.
I'll roll acrobatics since it's the same bonus.
Okay.
16.
And I don't know which version we're using right now. Like whether it's the 2024 rules or the 2014 rules.
2024.
But in 2024, you have proficiency in both the skill you use to do something and a tool that's associated with what you're doing. You get advantage on your roll. So, for example, if you're picking a lock and you have proficiency in both
Sleight of
thieves'
hand.
tools and sleight of hand, you
Mhm.
get advantage on all of your
Okay.
lock picking checks.
There you go.
So does that also apply to like if you have like for a healer's kit? How would that work?
If you have proficiency in medicine and you have a healer's kit, you would get, I would assume, advantage on your medicine checks to like stabilize people or whatever.
Huh.
Is thieves' tools like based on a skill? Because usually, at least the one
Usually
where
when
I've
you
read.
usually when you pick a lock, you use sleight of hand.
Okay.
And if you don't use sleight of hand, you use thieves' tools. If you have both, you get advantage.
I never even. It very much hides that, I think, somewhere.
It's a new rule. It's somewhere in. I'd have to pull it up. I can show you afterwards, but it's in there.
I've only ever seen it like, oh, you're going to pick a lock, you just roll your proficiency with your tool,
Yeah.
and like sleight of hand never comes into it. In that case, if I'm rolling sleight of hand, that's 2 higher.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if it's sleight of hand, I guess I get to roll again.
You don't have proficiency in thieves' tools.
Yes, I do. Why would I not have proficiency in thieves' tools?
Wait, I'm looking
She's
at the wrong
rogue.
place. I'm looking at the wrong place. Sorry. Yeah,
I
you
was
did.
gonna say, how do you figure that?
Sorry, I was looking at something else. Shut up.
I know.
All right.
I'm joking.
All right, roll your sleight of hand with advantage. Third.
I did.
I'm sorry,
24.
24. Okay. You lean down. Sorry, crouch
Insert
down.
lockpicking lawyer noise.
Go into pick the lock, and you get the first tumbler, and you get the second tumbler, and there's no third tumbler, and there's no fourth tumbler. They should be there as far as you can tell, but they're not
Real
there.
cheap luck.
And the door clicks open.
Yeah,
It's a really
cheap
shit
luck.
lock if it's missing tumblers.
So, the door swings open, and you get your first look at Harney's apartment. This is a pretty basic apartment. You have a main room that's about 10 by 10. There's a little kind of kitchenette off to the right. There is a hallway leading to the back, and on the left there's a door that is currently open leading to another room. And there's a window on the wall to your left looking out over the main street. The curtains are drawn, the furniture is in disarray, and there's a bunch of stuff lying all over the place.
Oh. Can we
Do you
see
think he
this
just
stuff,
lives like this,
over?
or
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask.
Asks the noble.
Can Durin and Pietro see this over Saoirse's shoulders, like
Yes.
the just
I
trashed
move out the way.
apartment?
Well, I mean, the door opens, Saoirse's still kind of crouched down. But yeah, it's not hidden. You have a view into the room.
Alright.
Things are in disarray.
that
There's
case,
random little items thrown everywhere. It looks like somebody hasn't cleaned up in a long time.
But it does
Like
not
the-
look like a struggle. Or
Maybe.
do we need to do some perception checks or anything?
I'd like to check the lock to see if it has been tampered with, like somebody has broken in here before us.
In that case, you would need to make a
Investigation.
make an investigation check and add your dex modifier, because you're kind of like looking and feeling around the lock at the same time. So just roll
Add it or
investigation.
like-
Yeah, just roll investigation and add 5.
At 3.
Yeah, add 3. Sorry.
So
Well-
I guess I would roll
11.
perception to check
I'll get to you in a second, Matt.
Perception.
I'll get to you in a sec, Durin. So, Saoirse, you take a look at the lock. It's hard to say. It definitely looks, based on your knowledge of locks, it definitely looks like it should have more tumblers. Whether it's an old lock or a broken lock or a tampered with lock, you can't tell. Maybe it's just a piece of shit. Maybe it's just somebody cheaping out. Maybe somebody broke it. You don't know.
Interesting.
All right. And is anybody going into the room? Or are you looking from the doorway?
Durin's going to do a quick perception check before we go in.
What are you looking
Kinda
for?
Give a quick glance to where, like, you know, is it just dirty and just disarrayed, or does it actually look like there was some kind of struggle or something happened?
Okay. Do a perception check.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, I thought that was a 1. Only a 9.
It's very hard to tell. It could just be that somebody is very bad at cleaning up their place. It could be that somebody has thrown things around. It could be both. It's hard to tell. It could be neither. It's hard to tell. What would you like to do? You're all standing outside the doorway. The three of you.
I gesture towards the room. Age before beauty.
Durin's gonna look at Pietro and go, "That's cheating," and then start walking forward. Because he is most definitely the oldest of all of you.
So, as you walk in, you kind of get a better look at things. There's a nice chair that's up towards the windows, with a little table next to it. The table has been knocked over. Whatever was on the table is not there. Is scattered around on the floor. There's a couple of articles of clothing scattered about this living room. The kitchenette, I should say, is kind of a mess. There's a pot that has been emptied, but it hasn't been cleaned. There's a loaf of bread that looks about half eaten. Otherwise, maybe a day or two old. Things like that. The smell of the apartment is not necessarily gross, but stale.
Durin's going to... So, like... Well, there's no map to show the layout. You said that there was a room towards the back that had a closed door?
The door is open. You can't see into it from this angle.
Durin's going to approach towards the back, towards that room, and careful not to step on or disturb any of the mess.
Okay. As you get closer, you see that this leads into a bedroom. The door is open about halfway, and you can see the bed. The bed is disheveled. Nobody's made it in a while, and the sheets are a little dirty. And there's clothes on the floor. It's not as messy as the rest of the apartment. But it's definitely not clean.
You don't suppose he has anything to drink here, do you?
It's been 5 minutes since Pietro's had a drink. He's pretty thirsty.
This is bad.
He's like, oh god, I'm coming down.
Why don't you have like a hip flask if you're...
Let's say I'm surprised Pietro doesn't have a flask of some sort.
Right? Do I have a flask? I need.
I don't know. You tell us.
You tell us.
I feel like
no.
Pietro would.
Pietro didn't expect to be away
would
from
have
a bar
flask.
this long.
Probably did at some point, but it's probably lost it just like the crowbar and so many other knickknacks.
You do not have a flask.
It was one of those novelty flasks that was in a crowbar.
What? There's probably
I'm sorry,
items bearing
what kind of
family
combo?
crest.
Pietro takes off his boot, opens up a spigot, and just pours out some booze.
There just happens
It's like where
to be
people normally
items
have
with-
not stirrups. What's the thing on boots? Spurs. Like where people have spurs. It's like
It's a
Pietro has
faucet.
like a spigot, like a little.
These are my
Spigot
drinking
on the
boots.
back.
You wear those to get drunk? No. Well, yes.
There's items with my family crest scattered across the land in all the different like bars, whorehouses, salons, and like theaters and shit.
And they're all
and
flasks.
rooms. I probably have lost a few bits of underwear, here and there.
And they
So,
all have the same crest.
Yeah, just a bunch of shit with my family crest all over the goddamn place. We might find some as loot one day. It's like we raid a goblin camp and they have like
Oh boy, that's like
Uh,
a
And the leader is wearing boxers of like
as
boxers
the
of
finest
insert
silk
something plus
boxers.
3.
What would you like
like
to do?
it's like a side quest in an RPG where you have to collect things. It's collect Pietro's family's crap.
Random shit. It's like silk boxers of Constitution plus 3.
Can you
Just
collect
all
all 98 of my
left.
All right.
Scattered
all
about.
98
All right.
pieces of my scattered underwear?
What would you like to do?
Uh,
The
I
thong
guess,
of destiny.
since there's nothing immediately dangerous or anything like that, and it doesn't look like there's been any kind of struggle, I guess start just investigating the apartment. Try to see if there's any clues to if he'd met anyone new, if he had actually made it back here after the fight. Just
Okay.
try to look for clues, gang.
You look for clues, while I look for booze. Let's fucking go.
I would expect nothing less.
Pietro, give me an investigation check first.
Pietro's looking for booze clues.
Shut up.
Oh, I got a 10.
You
You don't find shit.
find you search through the kitchenette thinking that's the most likely place to find any kind of drink. And find in a cupboard a single bottle of beer. Slightly warm, but sealed.
Dibs.
Oh, speaking of beer, I should open mine.
All right. So while you're doing that takes you about 10-15 minutes to search for that. Saoirse and
Oh, damn.
Durin.
It's a homemade beer.
Oh no.
Oh.
What?
Oh really? So you made the beer?
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
more
Saoirse and
details.
Durin, what would you like to do?
Yes. Well, just I don't know. I'll let Saoirse go first so I don't screw up any investigations.
I'm distracted
Okay.
by dogs, so.
Oh well, fair enough.
I guess I'll look around to see if there's anything whoever tossed this place might have missed.
Okay.
Any hidden
Now-
spots
now,
in the
d-
wall
Does
or
it look
under
like
a floorboard.
someone has gone over the place to look for shit, or does it just look like just
Pretty
dirty
fucking
apartment?
trashed here.
I mean, but is it dirty? Is it just dirty apartment, or does it struggle as someone looking for something?
If you want to know the answer for
This is where
real,
your Sherlock,
you
this
would
is where
need to
your
do an
Sherlock
investigation.
mind palace skills would
Yeah.
come into handy.
If you want to examine things and see if you can figure out if there was a struggle or something else going on, you would need an investigation check. If you want to look for hidden things, you would need a different investigation check.
You need a perception check for that.
I was about to say that. Would be
Well, it
perception,
depends.
wouldn't it?
Perception is if you can see it at a glance. Investigation is if you're actively searching for it, in this case.
Gotcha.
My immediate assumption is that this place has been searched, so...
But what were they looking for?
The booze, obviously.
Obviously, yes. What else would anybody be looking for?
Value
Says
of this
the
place,
Pietro.
I'm sure.
I guess Durin will perform an investigation check then.
Okay.
I got a
To see if
21 on
there's
my
been-
Okay.
investigation.
So, Saoirse, what are you doing specifically? What are you looking for? Hiding places?
I'm looking hiding places that whoever I believe tossed this place might have missed. Like
Okay.
things in the wall, under a floorboard.
Hidden in the door jam.
Goddamn
Just go along,
walls!
go along like tapping
Okay.
spots in the wall behind like dressers and shit.
While you were doing that, you're just kind of like going around the room,
Yeah.
taking a look in
Tippity-tapping.
drawers and stuff like that. Durin, what are you looking for?
Identify whether this is just a dirty ass apartment or if there was an actual struggle or if someone was actually looking for something in here.
All right, so investigation check.
Oh, not bad. 19.
Okay. So, while Saoirse is going through knocking on walls, checking drawers, and all that stuff, Durin, you start picking through all of the stuff on the floor. The first thing that you notice, Durin, is that there doesn't seem to be any blood. There's no acrid smell. You don't see any telltale stains. The things in the room are thrown around, but as far as you can tell, they didn't hit anything or anybody. The second thing you notice is that the trying to think of how to put this. The 19. The second thing you notice is that there are several sheets of paper thrown around the room. They're kind of here and there and everywhere. But there's none near the chair or the table. Saoirse, you are knocking on walls and checking drawers and looking under things. You manage to find, underneath the chair, a small wooden box. It's about an inch high, 3 inches deep, 4 inches wide. And it's got a simple latch with a simple lock on it. Simple padlock.
The same type of box that we had delivered.
No. This is much simpler and much more
Okay.
much more common looking, I guess. It's relatively cheap.
I'll pop it open. See
Okay.
what's inside.
I need a sleight of hand check with your thieves' tools to open the lock.
I will roll twice.
Do so.
21 and 21.
Yay!
Double
crit.
check.
Hey, you
Uh,
did it.
So the little tiny padlock pops open very easily. And you open it up, and inside is a small pouch containing, when you look inside, you quickly count it up, 51 gold pieces.
The one is important.
That's all that's in there.
Damn.
How much again, sorry?
51.
51.
51 gold pieces.
Mhm.
Interesting. Close that up.
Are you taking the money?
I might, but I'm not taking
Bitch,
it
I
right
might.
now.
Okay, fair enough.
It might be relevant.
Durin is going to check some of the pieces of paper that have been scattered around, see if there's anything written on them.
There is, in fact, several things written on them. You take a look at a piece of paper, and then another piece of paper, and then several more pieces of paper, and you quickly come to realize these are all basically the same thing with different wording. Harney owes people money.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't take you long to find as many sheets of paper as you can. You probably have missed some. It doesn't really matter. The amount that he owes to various people is more than 1,500 gold.
Oh my goodness.
Not an insignificant amount of money.
If
Looks
51's
like,
drop in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
It's like our friend Herney here is a wee bit in debt with some people. Might explain why he went.
How much?
Yes, that's how much the debt was. Yes, about 1,500 gold. No wonder the lad may have disappeared.
And then,
Enough to buy a sizable farming plot.
and then, Durin, give me one
Pietro just quietly, like,
drinking beer.
not trying to bring. No, quietly thinking about all the ransoms that have been paid for him over the years. I'm like, oh.
Oh, so that is a lot of money. Oh no!
Oh no,
Yes.
1,500 gold. Yes.
That sure is a whole lot of money, yeah.
Oh wow! I've had benders that cost more. I mean, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. Oh damn!
I have never seen so much.
But then
And
also, I feel like Pietro would be like a bit wistful at like currently you don't have that money because you're not like really with your family anymore. So it's like
Yeah.
I used to command a lot of money to be like rescued or bailed out or whatever. And I probably can't get that anymore.
oh man, I could pay that. I could
uh,
pay that off, right? I mean, I could pay that. Oh, now I'm sad. Where's the beer?
Oh, it's literally it's like 1,500 gold. That's a lot of money. And then Pietro's like, oh man, I remember when my allowance was. I mean,
That's a lot of money. All right.
that's plenty of
This beer is not going to be enough to fill the hole in my wallet.
Right.
your
so-
wallet in your soul. Oh, big sad.
So, Saoirse, you don't find anything else in your examinations. Just that little box with the 51 gold pieces in it. And Durin, you haven't gathered up all the paper in the room. You've gathered up quite a bit of it to know how much to get to that 1,500 gold debt. But there's still pieces of paper lying everywhere. There's still clothes lying everywhere. There's stuff like that.
But none of this paper was by the table or the chair.
Correct.
So he just hadn't bothered looking at it?
Well, either that or it was on something and it got scattered all over. Sorry, I'm not there.
Does it? Yeah. Does it look like? I mean, I guess if like, are there any other? I guess Durin will go around and like check the other pieces of paper, see if is there any common, like, person that Herney seems to owe this money to? Is there like one main, like, loan shark or debtor that he needs to get money back to?
A quick examination shows that he owes a lot of money to a lot of different people. The most that he owes to any one particular person is 200 gold. The least that he owes to any one particular person is 50. The handwriting is different. The paper is different. It's just a lot of different people over a lot of different places.
But there's not like one particular large number of debt slips going to one particular debtor.
Not
There's
that
not like,
not that you found.
oh, this
out.
is 800 gold owed to Timmy Three Toes or something like
Yeah,
that.
and then another like 4 slips to the same guy, and
Or something
that
like
kind of thing.
But is
That's how
there
you do
any
it. That way,
that's
that way all the
worded-
sharks have to fight each other.
Is there any that is worded particularly threateningly, though?
It's hard to tell exactly when because they're scattered all over the place. You can't really get a timeline. These things aren't dated; they are just notes. But
Like, hey, you owe this.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
you owe this.
there are definitely you do find 2 pieces of paper that are interesting. One is explicitly written with a threat, and it says, "Pay what you owe, by, and the date that it gives you is 3 days from now, or we're coming to take it out of you. And there's a hole right in the middle of the piece of paper, a vertical slit. The other one it also has a vertical slit more towards the top of the paper than the middle of the paper. And this one isn't threatening at all. All it says is, you know what you have to do.
Well, I don't think
guess
it's the one that's for the debt that's 3 days from now. Because why come now? Or whenever this happens.
So it's the vertical slit, I'm assuming, is from where they had, I guess Durin will go check the door to see if it looks like there's any knife mark where it may have been wedged into the door. And then if there's not, he's going to move on to, like, see if there's anything, like, was it, like, pinned to the wall or pinned to the table, like, inside the apartment?
Give me an investigation check to look at the door.
One sweet heckin' investigation.
Oh, I was almost 17 there. Damn you! No, I can't see anything.
The door is a bit too damaged for you to make out. Well, it's not damaged; it's weathered. It's a bit too weathered for you to make out any details about particular marks.
Guess move on to check and see if there's any. See if it was
actually,
pinned to the desk or anything.
One other thing that I did forget. What was your investigation check to look at the papers? It was 19, right? Yeah, it was 19. The one that says you know what you have to do is distinctly less yellowed.
So you can make the assumption that it might be newer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one we need to be looking into personally.
Yeah, but
Where
it
were the
doesn't have
people
any
he owed
details.
money to when they ransacked the place they'd taken this money to?
Do any of these papers or anything have any sort of details on them, like names, information?
That is also a good point. Like, they left money here when they're here to reclaim debt or whatever. So they just left money sitting around.
There are a couple of names. They are not very descriptive. There is a Thomas. There is a Butch. There's Fidel. You know, they're not descriptive. They're single names.
And for the paper
Sting,
with the
Prince.
with the like ominous, you know what you have to do message, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that even signed at all? Yeah.
It is not
Is
signed.
it signed, or is there any distinctive markings on the paper? Like, is it from kind of
Like
a
any
specific
symbols?
stationery, any coat of arms, any seals?
Is it like any particular? Is it like expensive looking paper, or is it just like the cheap shit you get from like the corner shop?
Or did they do the
Right.
Dark Brotherhood thing and put like the bloody handprint on it? So it's like, ooh.
Right. Or the black
Can we,
spot
like,
from
hold
Treasure
it-
Island?
Yeah.
Hold it up to the light and see, like, there's an
watermark?
imprint on it from the...
Oh!
No, an imprint on it from the last thing that they wrote. That's like, this is from blah, 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 at blah, 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 blah,
Fucking
street.
Oh,
bullshit,
right.
bullshit CSI.
Yeah.
No, no,
The
no.
watermark
And they
is
can't
a good idea
Wait,
too.
wait. Let me hold this up to the light. Oh, 747 megahertz. Sweet. That's a joke nobody's going to get. That's okay. Give me whoever is looking at this piece of paper to try to find out more about it. Give
That'd
me
be me.
That would be Pietro.
give me a perception check.
I
Perception.
believe we are all assisting.
Yeah.
I don't think you
I mean, I can roll in this.
We only
Roll an
benefit from one
assist.
assist, so oh
Yeah.
god, that's really bad.
That is
Good thing we're assisting.
Oh, yeah.
assisting lets you re-roll.
It's advantage.
If you're using if you're using the help action, it gives him advantage.
Oh, okay.
So do we
It
need
doesn't
to
give you any
roll
bonuses or anything like that, but he has to roll a second time.
That's a better
Okay.
roll.
Okay.
Okay. You've seen this handwriting before and recently.
Oh.
Oh no.
Thinking back.
Memory hole.
Thinking back.
Do we need to do a history check now?
No. It only happened, it seems like a lifetime ago, but it happened yesterday. When you broke into the Bloody Blades hideout and took them out, you found a note written to them as well, in the same handwriting.
That said, we're no longer doing business with you. I remember that now. It was the ones that said you're on your own, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna convey this to everyone else and say that I think we got a conspiracy on our hands.
Durin is going to have a big mega frown that you can actually see through his mega bushy beard.
Durin, how do you
Because
make your beard look sad?
it is
What a
big
lovely
frown.
conspiracy.
It's
It's
easy when
big
there's
frown.
shitty things happening. You see.
It's like Durin's got the big sad / mad. His bushy eyebrows are furrowed too.
It would make sense. Like, humans develop expressive eyebrows, dwarves develop expressive beards.
Exactly. If
I-
you spend
you
enough
know
time
what?
around them, you can see just by the set of their beard, you know exactly how they're feeling.
The power of evolution. Durin's gonna, after Pietro has conveyed that it is the exact
It's like
same
with an elf
handwriting
and the
as
angle
the
of their
ominous
ears or
note.
something like that.
Yeah.
If they wiggle, they're happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Durin's going to cross his arms and kind of have a deep thinking look on his face and say, I don't like it. Those bloody bastards got
I don't
attacked
like it.
by some horrible beastie. And now we're finding out that people are disappearing. And the same bastards are writing notes to each other. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
No, sir.
Well, I, for one,
Yes, I don't like
love it. Think of all the scandal, think of all the drama. I must know what, if any, nobles are involved in this. Just think of the
Think
There
of
has
all
to be
the
at
dead
least
dock
some.
workers. Think
The
of
what?
all the dead dock workers at this rate.
Oh yes,
Maybe
yes. Think of them too. Pour one out for the dock workers.
Like
Maybe
hell,
this-
you'd pour a damn bit of alcohol out. You pour one out right down your throat.
That I will. Thanks for reminding me. I continue to drink
Pietro.
my beer.
Pietro will pour one out after he's drank it and a few hours later.
The way the brewer intended.
Durin's going to. Durin's gonna kind of wrinkle his nose at that thought, but I mean,
But at the same time,
not
Durin would be
wrong.
like, you know what? Yeah, no, that tracks.
no,
What
not
does the
wrong.
brewer-
Not.
One end
Not
or the
wrong.
other, he's pouring it out for him.
Oh Lord.
A beer in the morning, I drink a beer at night. I drink a beer before I drink a beer, and then I feel all right.
Oh Lord.
What would you like to do?
Amazing.
Is there anything else you think that could be gathered from here? Pietro's found his one warm beer. Saoirse has found the little Heidi box, and we've found some ominous notes.
Sorry,
read
random
Solo.
aside.
Mhm.
My friend, his granddad, used to drink beer that he would keep in the back of his truck in the middle of summer, like in a cab,
Why?
Super skunked.
because he is an alcoholic.
Oh God.
He would
Goodness.
drink like 90-degree beer. It's
Yeah,
Oh,
Yummy.
skunky, nasty shit. Oh,
I just had to mention it because I heard warm beer. I'm like, oh.
wow. Ow. Tyler, why would you put that evil
I
on?
mean, if you think about it, we didn't have refrigeration until recently.
Yeah, but you would keep it underground in like a cool like cellar or something.
Dark place, yeah, not in the.
Not in the back of your truck where it's like 100-something degrees.
That just
Ruined the reaction. Just
adds the
reminded me.
fermentation along, you know?
Oh god.
Ugh.
It just
Anyway,
reminded me of
sorry,
the Fallout reputation meme. Everyone disliked that.
Right. Or somebody else,
Everyone.
or the telltale everyone will remember that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Everyone
it
wishes
has
they
the
didn't
little
have to
music.
remember that.
The little musical,
I just had to, I
the
just
musical
had to
stinger
mention
that goes with it.
Sorry.
Ugh.
What would you like to
Sorry,
do?
I just had to
Anyway.
mention that.
Moving on from nasty, skunky beer talk.
Yes.
Fuck you, out.
You have disappointed. You have disappointed the brewer with your action.
You have. If brewer was a physical thing, he'd be like, "Well, that's a bunch of shit."
It looks disapprovingly.
You thought
Brewer's
my
like,
beard
wait,
was mega
hold
frown.
on.
God damn.
Hold on, tell us that again. I have a list I need to make. What was his name
my beard
again?
was mega frowny.
There's some smiting I need to do.
The
Grudges.
Yeah,
what
there
is
you
the note that says? Yeah, the cohesion says the brewer will remember this.
Exactly.
The note that was saying in 3 days we're gonna fuck your shit up. Was there any kind of? What does it say on there?
Literally
Like
what
you
I told
signed
you. It doesn't have a signature.
No. That was the one Pietro was looking into. That was you know what you need to do. I was
The
asking
one that
about
says
the one that's...
you have 3 days does not have a signature.
Okay, and it's not the
But-
same handwriting as the
It
other
is
one.
not the same handwriting. No.
Okay.
It's the
Well-
one that we got from the Blades.
That the
said,
one from
like,
the Blades.
We're not doing any business with you anymore.
Yeah, that one matches the you know what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seemed to have hit another dead end here. We know that there might be some connection with the people that were doing business with the Blades and might have sent a horrible beastie to get rid of them. Also has something to do with Herney and the dock workers. Maybe we should
There
now
are
go
lots of
ask,
missing dock workers, aren't there?
seeing as how the harbor can't even function with how many are missing. Yes, that's quite a few missing. I believe we should go downstairs and check with the shop and see if they've heard or seen any particular individuals that might have been paying Herney a visit.
That sounds good. Maybe they have something else to drink down there while we're at it. You know.
The brewer can only hope.
So in the interest of time, because this is pretty simple, you head downstairs and go and talk to the shop owner, who is also the property owner, who over the course of several minutes communicates to you the fact that Harney had all sorts of people coming and going. They never really paid attention to them. As long as Harney paid his rent, that was all that mattered.
Fair enough.
How much is rent around here?
Around here it would
Asking
be
for a friend.
around
Yeah.
here it would be
Asking
for a place like Harney's, it would probably be 5 gold a month.
Pretty cheap.
Just gonna make
Getting
a mental
into
note of that.
fantasy world economics.
Yeah, don't make me
Well,
make numbers up on the
actually, no,
fly,
it's
otherwise
like,
I'll totally destroy the economic system.
It's like a silver. I believe a silver is like a day's worth of labor or something. So like a farmer or whatever make like a gold, like 3 gold a month or something.
So for what it's worth, the average stuff that you see in like the D&D guide doesn't necessarily apply to Tyrus, because Tyrus is more like Seattle or San Francisco. The cost of living is higher than other places. So the average person would probably make more along the line of...
Isn't it the fancy
Fi-
like capital of this entire area?
Yeah. So the average, like a dock worker that is relatively new on the job is probably going to be earning maybe like 50 to 100 gold a month. You're getting
That's
paid.
a lot
Yeah.
of money.
You're telling me the average wages increase with the price of living? This is a
What?
fantasy world.
Yeah, this is a fantasy world for damn sure.
Oh, now I'm sad.
That's not
Big
necessarily.
sad.
Well, that's not necessarily true, and Harney's place, his rent might not be indicative of the rent in other more upscale locations. But generally
Right.
speaking, things in the city are more expensive for living and less expensive for special projects such as your sword.
My sword. My sword. My sword.
So,
Okay, there, Urizura. Well, since in the
My
interest
sword,
of time,
my sword, my
we've
lovely lady sword.
Oh my god! Fucking
moving
hell.
on. Moving
Uh,
on.
Moving
Yeah,
on.
moving on. Since we have investigated Hernie's apartment, the shopkeep doesn't
Yep.
have any extra information. The only other lead, correct me if I'm wrong, that we have at the moment is the fighting ring that Herney kept participating in.
But we also don't want to talk
Since-
about that.
No,
Yeah,
you
we
can totally
can't.
you can totally talk about that. It's fine.
In the rules.
The first rule of Fight
we
Ring
can't
is
talk about
tell everybody about Fight Ring because we're trying to get more people in.
Oh,
Everybody
you get like a
has to know
referral
the fight
bonus?
You get a referral bonus.
Oh, is it an MLM?
You get a free drink for every new person you recruit to the
Ah.
fight ring.
It's a pyramid scheme of fighters.
Oh no.
Because they always need new fighters.
I mean, if you look at like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, they are always like these pyramids, right? And you have to work your way up.
God damn
Especially
it.
Mortal Kombat.
Did you just say that it's a drink per fighter you bring to the ring?
They made that
I
up, not me.
I didn't. Dave
Urizura
didn't say
said that. Or
Hmm.
Out said it.
The
So-
gears are turning.
So you do know that the
The
Fight Ring.
external voice of
Yeah, shh.
You do know that
Go
the
ahead.
Fight Ring doesn't actually open up for business until later in the evening. It's now probably about
Yes.
2:30 in the afternoon. So, what would you like to do?
but we cannot follow up things with the notes we've got. There's nothing that tells us where to go, what to do. We've gone to see Captain Boderin handle that end.
You-
Are there any
You know
open
what I think
things
we should do?
that go drink? I know exactly what Pietro thinks we should do.
I was gonna say short rest, but I mean that works too.
Doesn't that count as the same thing to Pietro?
A little bit.
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, maybe, but
I mean,
Let's not split hairs here.
you've all had
I
a
don't
pretty
believe we've.
rough time today. You still
Not
haven't slept
really.
or rested
I-
from your fight earlier in the day.
Really? I could have sworn I've got. Wait, hold on,
Nope.
let me check my spells.
We had a short rest,
No.
not like a long
I
rest.
have all my slots are still taken up. Okay, so yeah, I guess we should do the. How many hours? Like long rest is what, 8 hours?
Long rest is an 8-hour.
If you decide to take the rest of the day easy until if you decide to take the rest of the day easy until you go to investigate the fight ring at about 9-10 o'clock at night, then I will say that counts as a long rest.
All right, then I'm gonna vote that we do the long rest because I'm completely out of spell slots.
Okay.
okay.
So I guess head back to the Torn Banner and hang out until fight time.
Okay. So you head back to the Torn Banner. I'm assuming everybody's okay with that.
Sure. Yep. Okay.
So you,
I would ask Leorah since she's the only other one with spell slots, but
Oh, she has disappeared.
she's vanished with her
She's
fancy hat.
absconded.
You know what I think? I think the hat was cursed and has possessed her. She's now off to be a halfling pirate.
Yar har har.
It's
Or
literally
yahaha.
it is
Yahaha.
literally the fancy cursed hat of flamboyance. So she's off to be a flamboyant pirate.
Did we
halfling.
determine if that was cursed or is it just magic?
We know it's
We know
magic.
it's magic,
That's all Dave's told us. No
Okay.
idea if it's cursed or not.
So you head back to the Torn Banner, and it's afternoon, so it's still pretty busy. There's, travelers coming in, travelers heading out. You take a seat, and Jenry, the bartender, kind of waves to you and gives you a look and is like, Don't have anybody else coming in with you this time, do you?
I'm gonna kind of give Jenry a kind of odd look. It's like, what do you mean by that?
That's what I thought. Have a seat. Let me know if you want anything to drink.
Beer, please. And keep it coming.
All right. So you take a seat, and you're all kind of like mulling over what you've learned. You get a couple of drinks. Pietro quickly shoots the two sheets
Gets
to
a
the
lot
wind.
of drinks.
Yeah. And you've been there for a couple of hours when suddenly a halfling runs in and just boom opens the doors. It's just like, you, and points to Urizura, runs up to you and is just like, you. She said I would recognize you. Here you go. Hands you a letter. Runs out the door.
Find the big tall person or whatever.
It
The biggest, tallest
specifically
person
says
with the reddest hair.
to Durin, the dwarf cleric, or Pietro, the fancy one with the eye patch, or Zuzaruza, spelling, she's big, you can't miss her, or Saoirse, if you can find her. And it says,
Zuzaruza, she's big.
I like that the name keeps deteriorating as we go.
It's Zuzaruza, and it literally has spelling, ? She's big.
I haven't read this before now, so I'm reading this for the first time. So you open up the letter, and it says, "Hello, my friends. I'm sorry, but I won't
Do you
be
have
joining
to
you
put
on
on
this."
your narrator voice?
Sorry, let me try again. Hello, my
And
friends.
also-
I'm sorry, but I won't be joining you on this next adventure. I think I picked something up in the Thieves' Den / Hideous Abominations lair, and I'm sick. Was that only days ago? It feels like it's been weeks, maybe even months. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Hugs and kisses, Leorah. P.S. Durin, please don't let them die. P.P.S. Pietro, you're squishy, please don't die. P.P.P.S. Zuzu, watch those buns, also don't die. P.P.P.P.S. Saoirse, I'm sure you'll be fine, just do your thing, heart.
What do you think she means by squishy? Am I squishy?
I'll cough and look away from. I'll cough and look away from here. Take a swig of my beer.
Durin is going to have a deadpan look staring directly at Pietro, and slowly turn his head over to Urizura, and then slowly turn his head back up to Pietro and go, "The argument could be made."
Immediately pulls out a hand mirror and starts looking at his face, like checking his pores. Like, squishy, squishy.
How could anyone say such a thing?
He doesn't know what that is. Durin's gonna look at Saoirse and go, he doesn't know what that means, does he?
The outrage!
As time goes on, you get something to eat, you relax, and you finally get a long rest in.
Woohoo!
Yay. We've had one long rest before. We did after
Sure.
the Thieves' Den, we slept.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
the Thieves' Den, yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a very eventful couple of days.
But
It's
you
been-
you eventually get back, or it eventually night falls, like a bad PowerPoint presentation, and the tavern is getting quite busy. You pay Genry for your drinks, which is a total of drinks and food. It's a total of 4 gold, however you want to split that up.
I mean, there's 4 of us.
There you go.
Yeah, clearly that'll be 2 gold from Urizura because he's still ripping her off. So 2 gold.
Please no.
There's your bucket of beer.
Hey, no, that's Pietro's bucket of beer.
No, that's Pietro's
No,
bucket
that'll
of
be
whiskey.
Pietro's bucket of bourbon.
Bucket of beer.
A bucket of bourbon. Jesus Christ.
And then as you
Like that.
you head out
It's
into
painted
the
red
night.
in my red
Almighty.
solo cup.
Lovely.
But if they were red, no, it can't be a plastic solo cup, but it can be shaped like one, and it's made of cheap
No.
wood. but it's
No, it's
painted
like
bright red.
No, it's like those.
I thought you were gonna say
the-
cheese. Jesus Christ.
Well, no, you know how they sell like
Cheap
the.
wood. Come on, Dave.
Well, no, you know how they sell like the recyclable like ball aluminum cups now.
Yes.
It's like one of those.
Oh god.
It's in the exact same shape as the solo cup, but it's made of like of aluminum or some really cheap metal or something like that,
Ass pot metal.
or like pewter or something like that. You know, just like really cheap ass metal. Anyway.
So you, as night falls, you head out back into the night, relatively sober for most of you, and you head back down to the docks district where you've heard about.
Pietro,
this fight,
roll a
right?
drunk check.
Right?
Go ahead, Dave.
Pietro, roll a drunk check.
Oh god! What is that? What kind of check is
Constitution's-
that?
It'd be a
Constitution
Constitution
saving throw. Ooh.
Oh, he fucked it.
Until you
Goodbye.
That feels right. That feels appropriate.
You are no.
until you actively
He's
do,
just like he's only gonna have one drink, but it's like a big fucking bucket.
until you
Like the man
kind of feel
actively
bad
only
for
had
making
one
that
glass
joke.
of wine, and it's like the big glass.
until you actively
It's the-
choose to sober up somehow, or an hour has passed, you will take disadvantage on any physical actions.
Excellent. This is my natural state of being.
But you will have advantage on most of your charisma checks.
Now, if
But
only
will
he was
he?
a
But
drunken,
what about?
if only he
what
was a
about
drunken master
spellcasting?
monk.
Yeah, no kidding. I was
Spellcasting
gonna
is
say,
spellcasting.
Pietro
is spellcasting.
missed his calling. Pietro missed his calling. He should have been a drunken master monk. He would be
Yeah.
absolutely wrecking this campaign.
I
It's
would
like, oh,
assume
look.
any.
Oh, look, the horrible Gribbly abomination. Let me just take a big old swig of bourbon and murder it.
But I would assume, like, if you make like a Eldritch Blast or anything that requires a roll from you or whatever, it would be like at a disadvantage or whatever.
Maybe it depends on the
I don't know.
circumstances.
It depends on how amused his patron is. His patron's
That
probably
is,
going,
that is
Lamau.
true. It's like, I'm loving this shit. This is hilarious.
His patron's probably sitting back with a bucket of popcorn going, look at this fucker.
So
Look at this asshole.
you head down to the docks and go to find the building that you were told that the fight ring is. It's not hard to find. There is a bit of a crowd heading towards there. And it's not long before you can actually hear like the excitement in the crowd, and people are like, "Yeah, this is gonna be great! Oh man, I'm really looking
Now-
forward to another fight!
now-
Yeah!"
Before we
What?
go much further,
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask, is Pietro sober enough to remember his plan that he was going to be throwing Urizura into the ring to make lots of money?
I mean, Urizura's gonna throw herself into the ring.
I know, but is
I-
Pietro sober enough to, like,
Profit off of it.
Capitalize on that.
like, is he aware enough to do that?
Actually, I was wondering
Mhm.
what kind of fights these were. Are they just like fisticuff brawls? Or
Well, we don't
don't
know
know yet.
until we get in there, do we?
And Urizura
Yep.
doesn't care.
She does not care.
Okay.
Any
So-
opportunity for her to show off or be like, you know,
Throw down.
exemplify
Yeah,
her
yeah.
fighting prowess is like, I'm down or whatever.
Go ahead.
Alright.
Dave.
Does not
So-
care the meaning, the way it's conducted or whatever.
So you get to the building, and it doesn't look like there's any fights that have happened yet. There's definitely a crowd, but they're letting people in without too much problem. As you get to the door, you realize that they are charging people money, though. And it's a gold a person to get in.
Nah, that's not bad.
Also, Pietro, did you split up the money when you were doing that long rest?
Absolutely not.
Okay, just making sure. So you all
Fucking
pay.
monster.
You all pay your gold. You get it, and you get inside. This is a relatively large building. It's not quite warehouse size. The ceiling isn't high enough, but it's definitely an arena. There's a circle in the middle, drawn in the ground, marked out with what looks like an actual metal ring into the rock. And there's you can see some of the fighters. Most of them are not wearing shirts. Most of them are dudes. And then there's obviously the crowd. There's dozens of people here, possibly hundreds. There's a lot of people in here. And it's surprisingly well lit. There's like lanterns everywhere. But the sound in here, it's like a crowd murmur. You know, the sound you get at any kind of sporting event. And you manage to find a spot where you can see what's going on. And suddenly one guy gets into the middle of the ring, and he's wearing like a fancy coat over somewhat wrinkled clothes, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for a fight tonight." I'm holding a microphone in my mouth like that makes a difference. It doesn't. Hope you're ready for a fight tonight.
No, he's got like a sending stone that like amplifies it throughout the room or something like that. Or
our first fight for the night is between Steelfoot, and the crowd goes wild, and you see this guy come out. He is not wearing shoes, he is wearing pants, and he is not wearing a shirt. His hands are wrapped in what looks like cloth. And he holds up his arms. He's definitely elven. He's a bit on the taller side for an elf, but he's got like that wiry look to him.
In your setting, how tall is tall for an elf?
Elves are a bit taller than human average, so probably like 6.5, 7 feet.
Okay.
Now,
Does he have a steel foot?
Do you want to? You're too drunk to tell.
Fair enough.
I like the cut of this guy's jib.
Oh man, I want a steel foot. Do I have to?
Steel foot.
Do I have to cut off my foot first?
Shrink.
And so he holds up his arms, and the crowd is like, "Yeah, Steelfoot! Yeah, kick his ass!" And then the announcer turns and he points to somebody else. Go ahead.
What was the dude that Herney fought last time? Do we remember what his name was?
Did they even mention that?
No.
No, because the dock worker had said, "Oh yeah, he had a fight with so and so, but he looked relatively healthy. He wasn't busted up." But I can't remember the name of the dude. Chat, do you remember the name? I don't think.
Well, if it wasn't
Does it
Harney,
matter?
then it must have been Anne Harney.
It doesn't.
Harney.
It doesn't matter. It's not the guys that you're
Anyway.
seeing tonight. And then he turns and he goes, "And over here we've got the one, the only Witch Face!" And it's this orc who's got a lot of scars on his face. Like you pretty sure you can only see out of one eye. And he's got like a broken tusk on the other side of his face. And he's big and he's beefy. He's a little shorter than Steelfoot. But he looks like he definitely has the weight advantage. And he just like smacks one fist into his other hand. Both of his hands are wrapped up. He's also not wearing shoes, just pants. And he's sitting there and he's like, and the crowd's like, "Yeah, kick his ass, Witch Face! Are you ready?" And the crowd goes, "Yeah!" And goes, "Fighters, go!" And they immediately go at it.
Beat the shit out of each other!
And it's clear
5
after
gold on Witch Face.
as somebody looks over as you say that, and it's like points at you and goes, "5 gold, got it."
Yes.
Urizura is quickly looking for whoever I need to talk to like enter or whatever.
There's too
Trying
much
not
of
to
a
jump
crowd
into the
here
ring.
for you to tell right
she's
now.
She's not going to jump into the ring because that's unsporting.
Yeah.
But she will look
But
for
my
whoever.
God, she wants to.
Yeah, no, she's looking for whoever it is that's like, hey, let me beat somebody up.
So it's immediately clear as soon as this fight starts that this is an unarmed fight, as it should be pretty obvious right now. But anything goes. Steelfoot comes out and immediately goes and kicks Witchface directly in the Witchface, who spins around from the impact.
I can make a joke, but I'm not going to.
He spins around from the impact, uses that spin as momentum to come back with a left hook that catches Steelfoot right in the gut, and it's just an all-out brawl. They're going back and forth. The crowd is going nuts, and it's...
Pietro's going nuts.
It's you're actually surprised to see that despite the weight disparity, Steelfoot is doing quite well against Witchface. But Witchface is also getting in some really heavy blows, so Steelfoot is getting light and quick blows. It's Little Mac versus Super Macho Man. One's really big and beefy and hits really hard, and the other is really small, but hits a lot. So I need to make a roll.
You need to make a roll for Star Punch.
Break him over your knee.
So I literally said in my head.
Pietro says as he somehow miraculously materializes another drink in his hand.
So I literally said 1 to 9 was a Steelfoot win, and 11 to 20 was a Witchface win, and I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10. I knew you were gonna fucking roll. As soon as you said 1 to 9 and 11,
it's a tie!
I was like, he rolled a fucking 10. As soon as you said that,
they both do like the simultaneous knockout where they both punch each other in the face at the same time and fall down.
As soon as you said 1 to 9, I was like, he rolled a 10. Like you didn't even finish. I was like, he fucking 10, because the next thing he's gonna say is 11 to 20, and you did. And I was like, you don't know how to math with a die, do you, Mike?
I wanted to leave that opportunity, and apparently I got it.
Now you have to figure out what that means.
You have that opportunity. I need to know now.
The
plan.
As the fight wears on, it's clear that both of the fighters are getting pretty winded. And then suddenly Steelfoot comes in and does a jump kick. Like, he leaps up into the air and he does he turns to the side and he sticks his foot out.
He does like the crane kick from fucking Karate.
No, he does a jump kick from fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, really.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And at the same time, the Witchface goes up to deliver a punch, and he seems to be taken by surprise by this jump kick. Immediately grabs the leg out of the air just before it hits him, spins around, and launches both of them out of the ring at the same time with the momentum. He just wasn't expecting it. And the announcer goes, "My God, they've done it, everybody! They've defied expectations of a winner! Both lose!" And the crowd's like, wait, what does that mean?
Fuck!
What do we do for our bets? All bets are pushed!
They're tossing their betting slips in the air like,
No, it says, all bets are pushed, and they're like, yeah! Nobody loses, nobody wins.
Yep. That's
And
what
then
it is.
Pietro, the guy that pointed at you earlier, goes, push! And then he turns away and he looks at some other people and starts pointing at them. And then the announcer goes, "We're just going to get set up for the next fight here, everybody. It's going to take a few minutes, and then we'll be ready to rumble." And the crowd's like, yeah! And the crowd kind of quiets down a little bit, and it's back to, like, quiet murmurs and everything.
It's a murmur.
Yeah.
they head back to the bar to get another round of drinks and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's the intermission
fight.
murmur that you hear.
Yeah.
Pietro's
Pietro-
mad, muttering about how a fight just blue-balled him.
Pietro, I need you to make a perception check.
I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. Be right back.
Perception.
sure. Interesting.
Perception. Where is it? There it is.
You,
13.
as you're cursing and being like, "God damn it," or "God's damn it," or dysnomia damn it, You feel your attention drawn across the room. You don't know why, but your eye picks out a single person that looks slightly different from the rest of the crowd here. The rest of the crowd is clearly working class people. They're not dressed in their Sunday finest or anything like that. They're wearing like their normal clothes, and most of their clothes are worn and everything. This guy is blonde with long hair tied back in a ponytail, and his clothes are a cut above. They're not as fancy as you've ever seen, but they are fancy. You don't know why you're drawn to this person. And then you feel like a weird nudge.
Well, destiny calls.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
And I'm gonna make my way through the crowd towards this person.
Okay.
But like not directly, not a beeline. I'm gonna
Stop and get a drink.
Now I'm assuming the rest of us kind of notice Pietro wander off, and we're just kind of like, because he literally says "Destiny calls" and wanders off, and we're just kind of like, okay.
Do you notice? Do you want to notice?
I don't know. Do we
I don't
like?
care.
That'd
I don't give a shit.
What
I
passive
don't care.
perception? Like,
No.
it wasn't like I don't think Pietro was
Yeah.
sneaking.
It'd be passive perception.
Yeah, so it's just a 12. Like I can't tell if I noticed or not.
Are you trying to be stealthy about it, V? Sorry, Pietro.
No, not particularly. I mean,
Yeah.
not. I'm just kind of taking a circular route to this person.
Okay. So, yeah, everybody notices you as you walk through. By the way, Saoirse, are you staying visible or are you hiding? Are you
I am
blending?
just like in the back of the crowd here.
Okay. You're Assassin's Creeding, like,
Yeah,
blending in?
I'm not getting involved.
Okay.
Just blending in.
Kind of observing from the background.
Right.
Okay. So, Pietro, you managed to make your way through the crowd kind of in a circuitous route. It's not terribly difficult. You approach this person and see that he's talking to what is clearly a manservant or a butler or an attendant of some kind. And he's talking with him in like an overly familiar but officious way. You can't quite make out what he's saying over the murmur of the crowd. But as you approach, he kind of turns and he looks at you. And he notices that you're approaching him, and he's just like, "Who the devil are you?"
Before I respond, I give him, a once-over. Do either him or his manservant have any identifying marks, like any family crest, coat of arms, anything that I
Is he the
might
one-armed man?
recognize?
He does have a crest. You don't recognize it, though. The crest is specifically two swords crossed with an axe in the middle straight up. And underneath is like a banner. It's a little like it's like a medal that he's wearing on his lapel. But you don't recognize the crest. You've never seen it before.
Huh. No idea what it is. Okay.
History
so
check?
just-
If you want to make a history check, Durin, you can see it as well.
I mean,
I haven't followed Pietro.
Oh,
so
then never mind. No,
I don't know if I can. No.
I can make a history check.
You sure can.
14.
Yeah, you still don't know this one. You've never seen it before.
Okay. Pietro de Marchi. Who? I wasn't expecting to see someone of your stature here. I'm trying to think what to say. Who do I have
You're
the
just
honor
kind
of viewing these fights tonight with?
Yourself.
Ooh,
Sassy.
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 Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have myself. I also have you.
Sorry.
And
We have a
So
Hulk.
Pietro's that kind of person.
I must insist again. What is your name? And I will even like, I will give him a look that I am not being very patient this time.
Make an intimidation check.
Ah, I rolled low, but it's a +5.
You're a little too drunk to be intimidated.
Oh wait,
So
you said
do
I
you
get
have your-
advantage, don't I, or something?
Yeah.
On charisma, yeah.
On charisma checks, yes.
Oh, there you go. Roll
So
You,
18.
you have
there
that
you go.
drunken courage that pushes you on.
I'm not seeing this show up on the
It's
game
a-
log. Hold on, let me.
No, I see it in there. So
Yeah,
it
let me
just might be a
reload this.
connection or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
He kind of gives
There
you a
it is.
once over, and he like focuses on that eye patch, just like a lot of other people that you've noticed or that you've met, and he bears himself up again, and adjusts his coat, and he goes, "If you must know, my name is Cathis Orlinde. This is my fight arena.
Orlinde.
This is
Ah,
my fight
yeah,
arena, and I am here to make sure that everything runs smoothly. The fights don't interest me, the money does."
I have that name written down in my notes, but no note on who that actually is. Why do I know that name?
Your patron said
patron?
that you should seek him out.
Well, I found him. Excellent. Okay.
And I'm assuming that was your patron, like, being like, hey, quest marker here.
What a wonderful establishment it is. I was just placing a bet on that last fight. Too bad it ended up being a push. Never thought I'd be blue-balled by a fight. But here we are.
I wouldn't worry too much. Once they get to the amateur round, I'm sure a lot of people will stand to make a lot of money.
The amateur round.
Yes,
Do
it's...
you allow
Go ahead.
you allow for anyone to just sign up for these things?
It's a good way to find new fighters and weed out the wannabes, I suppose. So yes, we do allow anybody to get in there, and as always, blood sells, of course.
Blood does sell. You're not wrong. Tell me, is there a say a commission for introducing new fighters to your establishment?
Are you saying, Mr. DeMarchi, that you are a fighter manager? You don't look the type.
Yes,
Normally
I've,
they're cleaner,
I've
less drunk.
I have just been celebrating my fighter's recent success during some of our training bouts. But she's ready for her first debut fight.
She has
And
no clue what you're fucking talking about.
You're not there.
No, she's not there, and she's never talked to him about this whatsoever. So it's just like,
You're just
I'm gonna
thrown-
fight, and then Pietro's like, "Boy, I need to take advantage of this."
The happy little coincidence.
Exactly.
That is
a
funny.
fighter who's recently come into my employ, who I think would be a lovely addition to tonight's wow, brain
Events.
lineup. There's the word.
I'll talk to the ringmaster, make sure that you get the details. I'm sure it will be fascinating. If that's all, I have things to do.
Very well, very well. Don't let me trouble you. Oh, actually, would you care to grab a
Yes.
drink?
I don't drink with drunkards or nobles that have the pretension of nobility.
Oh, you are a feisty one, aren't you? Playing hard to get. Oh, you and I, we are going to get along so well. And with that, I do a little flourish of my cape, and I'm off to go see Urizura and maybe grab another drink.
Okay. So, you get another drink and you're on your way back. You take a glance back and you notice that Cathis is very specifically not doing anything and also completely ignoring you. So it's very clear that when he said that he has many things to do, he totally was lying.
Oh yeah, I totally got that, and I am going to annoy the hell out of this man. I just have, a few other matters to attend to first.
So, you catch back up with Urizura, and Durin and Saoirse is kind of hanging off, mostly unseen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go ahead,
Yes.
as you do.
Uh-oh.
V, did you mute yourself?
I did.
Totally did mute. I was like, it's not muted in the Discord. What do you like? Where did V go?
It happens.
To Ash.
Reduced to atoms.
Wonderful news. I have acquired you a spot in tonight's fighting lineup. I'm sure you'll be quite pleased.
So have I not already done that myself?
You don't know who to ask, so you're just kind of.
I've been looking around.
Yeah, you've been looking around, and you're just like walking up to people that look like they might be important, and saying, "How do I fight?"
It's like,
and they're like,
"I want to fight. I want to
they're
fight."
like,
But I'm just
okay.
I'm just trying to be like, am I like beholden to Pietro for? Oh, thanks for setting this up.
No.
For me. Like,
no, you're not beholden to Pietro. You can.
Well, I'm not beholden, but like Pietro's like, oh, great news! I've got a fight for you. It's like, and then Urizura's like, well, I've already.
Oh yeah, no, I see what you mean. It would be more a case of you found out who to talk to rather than thank you for doing that. So
okay.
You have not found a fight
like,
yet.
Pietro would like point me to who I need to go to talk to enter or whatever.
And for it's a guy down ringside standing next to the announcer. The manservant has nothing to do with this.
Yeah. And I will go with Urizura to make sure, any paperwork is in order, every I dotted, every T crossed.
I'll pick you up by your collar and drag you along.
So you head down to the you head down to ringside. The announcer is looking at a sheet of paper in his hand, and he looks up, and then he looks up, and he's like, "Oh, okay. What can I do for you?"
Looks up
Fight,
and
please.
looks up.
I would like to
fight,
introduce.
please.
I would like to introduce our very eager fighter. Her name is Urizura, the Fire Giant.
You can see her just kind of like vibrating with like anticipation. Like, oh, come on, I want to fight.
The announcer kind of looks up at you, and he's like, "Oh, that might not be."
Should have introduced her.
We don't have a weight class for you.
No, it's more like you're the amateur. Okay, and he turns to the guy next to him, and he's like, "I think we have a new fighter." And this guy is like a gnome, very, very short. Looks way up. It's like, holy hells. Yeah, you want to fight in the amateur round?
Nod. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
Doesn't
please.
matter, whichever one.
I mean, that kind of works out. We're trying to get something exciting because the amateur round normally is kind of boring. It's just two people that don't know how to fight going at it. But if you want to fight, we've already got two on one, and the announcer guy's like 2 on 1. And the dome's like 2 on 1. You're gonna fight the other two guys.
Urizura just doesn't even. Urizura doesn't even fucking blank. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, even Pietro looks at Urizura and is like, 2 on what? Wiggles eyebrows.
Wiggles eyebrows.
She doesn't even pay attention to Pietro. She's like, just let me in, coach. I'm ready.
Excellent. She'll do it.
Eyes are laser locked onto the actual ring. It's like barely listening to anything that's going on. It's like that's the target zone, right? Anything that's in there, I hit it right.
And then the gnome the gnome looks at you and his smile kind of fades a little bit. And he's like, "Hey, three on one?
Oh shit!"
And the announcer guy's like, "I don't think we've done the 3-on-1 before." Yeah, but I don't think 2-on-1's gonna cut it. It's kind of
I turned to Urizura. 3-on-1?
It's like,
question mark?
Are you would you be willing to do a 3-on-1 fight?
I'll do anything. I'll do any fight. Bring him on.
Oh, I mean, she said she'll do it.
You heard the woman.
Okay. 3-on-1. We gotta find another fighter. We can do that. We can do that. We might need to stretch the definition of amateur a little bit. Okay, 3-on-1. 3-on-1. Okay, we're gonna get this done. And you need a name because Urizura is a mouthful, and I don't want to say it. And the announcer guy goes, "Yeah, it's a terrible ring name." How about fire
giant?
How about fire hair? And the gnome goes, "Fire hair? Are you kidding me? What the? This is why you don't name
It's like
anybody."
Taser Face.
You named Witchface, and look what happened to that guy. I mean, jeez. Okay, we got to come up with a ring name for you. What do you want your ring name to be? What do you want a fight name to be?
I don't care.
Well, that's not a very good fight.
Boulder.
That's not a very good fight name, but
I don't care. It's not a very good fight name.
I mean,
your problem. You figure that out.
Okay, we're gonna have to figure this out. We're gonna
Fire hair
Pietro.
doesn't work. What about fire mane? Gives it a little bit more.
Fire Mane!
distinguished
Fire
quality.
Mane! Oh, that's a good one. It's a good one. Okay, here's the rules. The rules are really easy. No weapons, no armor, no magic. If you use magic, you're immediately disqualified and we kill you. I'm sorry, that's the way it goes. But you can't bet on yourself. And if you kill the other guy, that's your own problem, and you're gonna have to deal with the enforcers. Okay? So no killing people. Just knock them out, or make them give up. Or if you move out of the ring, then you're out. If everybody moves out of the ring, then we got to push, and then the crowd's gonna get really antsy. All right? So don't do that. If you're gonna step out of the ring because you don't want to fight, then just make sure you do it on your own.
Definitely don't
Is
do that.
Urizura just going to pick them up and set them down outside the ring?
Look, if they're weak enough to be picked up and put down like that, then yes.
Now, one of
It's literally
set you outside the ring. It's like, no, you go
It's
sit
like-
over here and let me have a real fight.
It's literally like, no, I don't want to go uppies. I don't want to go uppies.
Now, one other thing that's
Going up.
really important. Whatever you do, don't. I lost my train of thought. Okay, you gotta put on a show. The better the show, the more likely you are to come back. Amateur night is all about finding the next big fighter. If you can put on a good show, maybe you'll fight the champ. You don't want to fight the champ. He killed the last person that he fought. That's okay. And we got.
She hears the word fight. You can fight the champ. She just hears that, and it's like
Ears perk up.
We got some openings in the roster. Yeah.
Rest of it out.
We got some openings in the roster, so we're looking for new people to fill it in. And if you fight Witchface, don't ask about the face. All right, just don't. It's not a good idea. He's very sensitive about it. It's actually very painful. The guy that was just. Don't worry about it. All right. Amateur round is after the next fight, so you stay here, have a seat, and we'll work this up. We'll make this good. We'll make this happen, okay? Okay? And he turns around and he starts talking with the announcer guy again.
So, what's the finder's fee
she'll start-
for fighters?
Oh,
Like, ignoring Pietro, she'll start pulling bandages out of her healer's kit and start wrapping them around her fist. Or whatever.
like really, really badly, and the gnome looks up at you and says, no, we'll take care of that. You don't know what you're doing, probably.
I'd almost say that she knows what she's doing for...
Then say that.
Would she know what she's doing since she's, like, such a good fighter or whatever?
Would she?
I don't know, would that count as healing check? Wrapping the fist properly?
She does have proficiency with the healer's kit, so I mean she knows, like, she has like a +4 to medicine, so
Go ahead. He just told you.
I'm asking you, would she know, like, would she be able to do that well?
I would say well enough to protect the bones in
Are you
your hand.
muted?
I'm not muted. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, to the point where people aren't like, you fucking don't know what you're doing, let me show you how it's doing, or whatever. Like, in terms of, like, martial arts and stuff like that, I feel like she would kind of know what she's doing in terms of that.
Yeah. I would say yes.
Look, everyone's gonna jump in and mansplain it to you.
Oh God, no!
Yeah!
No!
Mansplain it to the 8-foot-tall muscle lady.
Like,
So
that
you're
is the
wrapping it
worst.
perfectly, and these little guys are just coming in like, no, you're doing it wrong. They fucked
The
up.
tiny gnome is attempting to mansplain to the Goliath. I'm like,
he's literally
Yeah.
no, that
he literally just
Gnome-splaining
said,
it to you.
the tiny object is about to go flying into low Earth orbit.
So he
Jesus.
just looked at you and he goes, no,
Anyway,
don't worry about that.
go ahead,
We'll tell you we'll get that done for you. You don't know what you're doing.
Okay, understood.
What's the finder's fee for new fighters, by the way?
There's no finder's fee, but if you win, you get a lot of money, and by a lot of money, I mean like 100 gold. So do your best to win.
Excellent.
If you lose, you get nothing except for
Urizura,
bruises.
win.
Again, she's just not paying attention to him whatsoever. It's just like she's focused on, like, I'm gonna show them, like, how
We're already on the
fucking good
same
I am.
wavelength.
So
You
She doesn't
believe
care.
that
She's-
you believe that we're on the same wavelength, yeah.
So you take a seat where they tell you to sit, which is more or less ringside, and the announcer guy goes out and does his shtick again with a couple more fighters, and they come out. It's actually a pretty decent fight. One of them gets knocked the fuck out after 3 or 4 minutes, and the other guy is like, yeah, and the crowd goes wild. But despite the fact that, Pietro, you keep shouting out that you want to bet on one of the fighters, nobody is paying attention to you ringside. Like, there's nobody, like, pointing at you
Wait.
and asking for your bet.
For Urizura's fight?
No, for the fight
No,
that
for
just
any
The
happened.
fight that's currently going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so cutting you off at the pass,
Why?
you might be sitting there and being like, I got 5 gold on that guy, and nobody is paying attention to you. Because you're ringside.
It might be the noble
ringside.
guys, like the noble guys, like, I don't want his bets or anything like that. Cut him off.
Could
But
be.
The guy that you were annoying or something like that.
but
Speaking of, I'm gonna go grab myself a drink, him a drink, and the manservant to drink.
okay,
Oh my God.
and you're bringing it back to
Yeah.
him.
Yep, but we can get to that.
Is he even there still?
So, as the after the fight, the unconscious guy gets dragged out, and you see that there's like an actual person that's bandaging him up, and then the announcer guy, after an appropriate time, comes out and he says, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the favorites. It's amateur fight time!" And the crowd goes, "Yeah!" And everybody's like, "This is great." He goes, "We have a special event for you tonight. We've got a 3-on-1!" And everybody's like, "Yeah!"
Holy
Would they be like, yeah, or would they be like, what?
No.
That's like, we never see that. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Well, it's kind of a combination of
who could
yeah
it
and
possibly be? It could be
whoa.
3-on-1 or whatever.
And he goes, on the 3 team, we've got the, I gotta think of a name. On the 3-on-1, we've got the Silver Flash! And you see an average height human who looks like he's kind of built, not wearing a shirt, of course. He's got a couple of scars on his body.
Like they do.
Big beefy arms.
Please tell me Urizura is wearing a shirt.
And he's got
I just need.
he's got white hair,
Go.
and
There you go.
he comes out and he's like, yeah. He looks like he's in shape. He looks like he might be a bit of a handful. And we've also got Hugo, and you swear to God, Hugo walks out, stands there, doesn't hold up his arms, he just goes. And he's ready to go.
Fucking Hugo. Now I gotta ask: is he one of the regulars? Or
Sorry,
is he the
is
third one they found?
Is this the guy that was doing the arm wrestling?
Yep.
Yes.
The docs
this is
or
Hugo.
Yes, it was.
Okay, I had to place the name. So okay.
And
I need to know: is
so
he the
we
one?
meet
Is he
again.
the third one you found, or is he the one that was just like one of the regulars?
And we've also got your personal favorite,
No.
who won his first amateur fight and is back for more. We've got, and I gotta think of a name here. I'm terrible
Poor
at coming
Dave.
up with names on the fly. God damn it.
No, that's fine.
Grubbin the
That's fine.
Grubbin.
That's D&D shit, right?
Yeah.
Perfect D&D.
We've
shit there.
got-
Just figure out a name.
DM.
Pickaxe! And you see a big beefy half orc come out. It's not Witchface, fortunately. But he's actually on the shorter side, and he steps out. He doesn't do any kind of celebratory thing. Like, Hugo is kind of like the understated, like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. This guy just comes out, he looks around, he's got his hands in fists ready, and looks left, looks right,
That's
looks at
it.
you, bows a little bit. And who could possibly fight these skilled fighters all on their own? We have a legend in the making. The impeccable, indomitable, very excited Firemane.
Very
She is-
excited.
She is very
Accurate.
excited. You see her walking into the ring, and
My girl.
because she can't have
Damn
any
near
weapons, she
bouncing.
tosses all of her weapons on the ground behind her.
Yep.
And also, because she can't wear armor, tosses her armor on the ground behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone else that's wearing their pants and their shoes, she is wearing pants and shoes.
Does she
Anything
have
above
a
the
top on,
waist?
please, God.
And not a top. Not a
Alright.
top.
And
Now,
the announcer
I knew
looks
that
at,
was coming.
and the crowd starts going pretty crazy, and then the announcer goes, "And just a
The
moment,
announcer
folks."
finally looks at her and is like, "Duh!"
No, it's like, "Just a moment, folks. She's new." And the crowd is like, "Yeah, she is." And they take you back
Just
ringside,
let her
and
go. Come on.
they put you in like a shirt, a tight fitting
Now-
shirt, but a
now
shirt.
the question
Round
is,
it down.
how
Yeah.
well endowed is Urizura?
What's your charisma
Yeah.
score?
No, you tell me.
She's like
There's
a
a lot
9
of
foot.
like very muscular women who, when they're topless, it is not
You
that
can't
bad.
tell.
I don't know.
Anyway, moving on.
My predilection
okay,
to
it-
say is quite well.
While this
but...
is going on,
In that case.
cut over to Durin,
Yep.
face palming. As soon as Sarah walks out there without a top on, it's just like, oh, by the brewer.
And
Just-
cut over
just-
to Pietro as he stumbles up to the other nobleman, throws an arm around him,
With it.
hands him a drink, and is like, "Yeah, that's my girl."
Cathis
many
almost recoils from your touch, and he very slowly
How
but
many
stiffly
sheets to the
pushes you
wind?
off.
all of them.
And he's
I
just
offer
How
a
many-
drink to the manservant.
and
As
Cathis
well.
Cathis kind of looks
just
at him
out-
and then looks away, and the manservant's like, all right, and takes a drink, starts drinking.
Now, I have to ask, out of character, how
Yep.
often is this the reaction Pietro gets from other nobles?
I mean, Pietro, he has some friends. He has some fans. He also has a lot of people who are disgusted with him. Other people who would
this
never.
fucking guy again or whatever.
I would say you've
For
never
every
had.
party,
Go ahead.
for every party he gets invited to, there's another that he is barred from. So
That's fair.
And that's what the crowbar is for.
I would say this is the first time
That's
that
what
you've
Mr.
ever been called
crowbar
dirty.
is for.
It's not the first time you've ever been called drunk, but it's the first time
Yeah,
you've
first
ever been
time he's
called
ever been what?
dirty.
Okay,
Yeah. So you
that's fine.
now that Urizura has a shirt on, the announcer
Wow.
goes, "Make sure to watch closely, folks. This could be over very quick, or it could be over in 5 minutes. Place your bets. Who will win? Firemane or Firemane's prey? Are you ready?"
Urizura will be like, yeah!
The crowd goes.
Bouncy,
the crowd goes
bouncy.
wild. Hugo sits there and he
Bouncy, yes. Very much bouncy.
Hugo rolls his shoulders a little bit, cracks his knuckles, puts up his fists.
He pulls out the barrels. Oh wait, no. Puts the barrel back.
Silver Flash kind of like looks at the whole situation here and kind of like moves around to his right, and the fuck, I already forgot his name. Jesus.
Pickaxe.
Pickaxe. Yeah.
Pickaxe.
Pickaxe sits
That's
there.
real D&D, folks.
Yeah.
Real D&D is you come up with a name and forget it in under
Immediately
10 minutes.
forget it.
Yeah.
Pickaxe
That's
sits
real
there.
D&D.
Takes doesn't even seem to acknowledge the crowd. Just has his eyes focused on you. Stretches out.
I don't know how new
Gets into
that
a
guy
stand.
is. That guy might fuck you up.
And
He gets into his karate stance.
the announcer steps back to the edge of the ring and he goes, and we're gonna end there for tonight.
I was gonna say, do we need a map for this? Or like, what's the?
Because I want to make sure that that
Blue ball
fight.
by a fight twice in one night.
Now,
I
here-
guess you do need to stat up the three guys, don't you?
I honestly
I
was
think
gonna
that
do
also-
2-on-1, and then I was like, nah, I think we can do 3.
I also need to take a photograph of the roll I made for Urizura's first attack,
Okay.
just for reference for next time.
preemptively rolled it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you do. So,
I do.
Send that
do I
to you,
want to
Dave.
ask a question of Dave, though.
Sure.
If I bet on Urizura,
Mm-hmm.
I am lucky. Can Urizura use one of my luck points?
No. No.
I was
she
gonna
cannot.
say you're using the ether to influence the fight.
Because I mean, that's how luck kind of works. Like if you go to bet on a thing, it's like, oh, it's like influencing.
it's how it works
You
if you're betting
know-
on a thing that's not controlled by a
So-
player.
Damn.
So that's the problem.
Let's
But
I need to pick Leorah out of the crowd and shake her and make her give bardic inspirations.
that would be magic.
Yeah, can't do magic. You get killed.
Um,
Gnome literally said they murder you. Let's not do that. I don't want to fight in a stadium.
I mean, we're already fighting.
but I've already
I'd prefer not to murder the hell out of a bunch of civilians.
but I've already run out my throat because I am still recovering from being sick, and I was
Yeah.
having a lot there, and I feel like that's probably like the best place that we could do that because otherwise the fight's going to take another hour, and
Yeah.
I got to figure out
Well,
I got to
I
figure
mean,
out
maybe.
exactly how I want the fight to go because I don't want it to be a typical combat.
I was about to say, do you want to set it up as
Right.
combat or challenge rolls like the arm wrestling thing?
Not challenge rolls, but I'm going to think about it, and we will be back in 2 weeks. So, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We will be back in 2 weeks this time, I promise you. 3 weeks.
See you in 2 months,
maybe
everyone.
Leorah will maybe Leorah will have found us somehow, and she'll be there.
Entirely possible.
You promised 2 weeks. Okay, no, I will be here. I will be here in 2 weeks. I will not be here in 4 weeks.
In 4 weeks? Okay. So you won't be here on the 12th.
Yeah, 12th.
Okay.
I will not be here on the 12th, but I
We'll
will
figure
be
that out.
here. That's why I was like, wait, don't make that promise yet. I need to check.
But thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a good time. And this one was a lot of fun because I like dropping these little hints for you about the greater aspersions of the campaign. But
Durin's
Spooky.
got some ideas on the conspiracy involved, just not enough clues to make the Sherlock Holmes deduction. So,
but thanks everybody for watching. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you all on the next adventure. Bye-bye.
bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.